before we get started, I think the most important thing is, cheers, Matt. My good buddy, Matt, hanging out at this awesome, amazing studio. So excited about just catching up with my friends. And, you know, so much has happened in such a short period of time with your new digs. And it's wild because I've known you for a long time. And I mean, I know we're going to get into all that stuff. Yeah. But I think for the audience, it's really important for them to know, you know, what made you kind of get started with this whole studio? I mean, this thing is wild. And I definitely want to get a tour of this. I would love for you to kind of show me around. So sure. We definitely need.
We'll cover that maybe in the how part, right? Yeah. We'll do the why first, and then
absolutely
we'll see the how. Absolutely. the mystery behind the curtain, right?
Yeah, I mean, focus point, creative. You know, I want to learn everything, all the nooks and crannies, your origin of what made you get started with it, and you know, obviously the why now, because there's so much change happening everywhere. You know, we talk about changes with the social media push for individuals and now for companies that are moving into it so much more, and that they need this attention and audience.
And you got AI to think about, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know, that's a big why. Why? Well, you know, this all started forever ago, before I met you, most likely. And it covered a couple different industries, but what it came down to is trying to deliver messages and a face with a voice, a face with a name for different companies that needed to communicate their message better. Kind of in the early stages, everybody was just using like remember email, constant contact,
right,
things like that. And you could just pump out email after email, but you never really saw your face, right? We were on like iPhone -1 version, and if you try to take a picture, like it was horrible. I went back and watched some of those videos earlier today, and they're really, really bad, right? So a lot has changed, and there's been a lot of evolution, but the fact remains the same. You know, I didn't go into this, and the people that I've been working with didn't go into this trying to make movies or, you know, trying to make videos. We were trying to get messages out, and it just happened to go well with the evolution of the iPhone and camcorders and all these things got so much better that people didn't mind consuming it anymore because it was actually decent looking. It's right, as good as if you're right there, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's, you know, it's been a very I don't want to say uneducated evolution, but you know, I didn't go to film school.
But you've got a wild background now. I mean, people don't know about this, but you know, you've been on ski patrol. You worked as a paramedic, EMT, for a long time, and you've had multiple long careers. And I think that experience really brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, there's. I think in life, it's all about connecting with people and messages, right? And I've just been able to be fortunate enough to carry that over into like a career. You know, just take like paramedic or ski patrol as an example. It's one thing to like arrive at a scene and help somebody with their problem. It's another to actually connect with them, put them at ease, assure them that everything's being done that can be and as professionally as possible. You're always communicating, and you know, that's in person, of course, and this just happens to be recorded, right?
Right.
So whether you're Bullet trying to promote, you know, old-fashioned mix, which, by the way, is the best old-fashioned.
This is phenomenal.
If you've ever had an old-fashioned mix other than this, you probably have said, I never want to have an old-fashioned mix again in my life. This is complete opposite. So I think I'm the #1 salesperson for Bullet old-fashioned mix. So make sure you get your fill. I know a good place you can get it.
I'm a huge old-fashioned guy, so definitely highly endorsed.
Yeah. So, you know, through all these different things, paramedic, ski patrol, my family was in the video store business for, I don't know, 15 years or so. It's always been about communicating a message. Way back then it was a snapshot or an email or an ad in Penny Saver. I don't know if you remember that, right?
I remember that.
And now we've just progressed to something that's more fun to consume.
Sure.
And the people on this side of the camera can actually get a really good message across. And I think, the time has come for everybody to embrace that. It's a little hard to be on this side of the camera. I was thinking about it before you got here, oh boy, usually I'm the one with the clapper and I go hide behind the camera. And, so here we are on the other side.
But you do it so well. I wonder about your view and your lens on all this over the past couple decades and looking at what are the challenges today with businesses that are trying to get attention because, back then you're talking about the penny saver, you're talking about, email marketing, you're talking about, different types of campaigns, whether it's going to be putting a commercial on air or a video. But now there's a lot more noise. And I was doing some research, prior to this, and I found some interesting stats that back in 2020, in terms of the creator movement and what's happened, this is just domestically, but back in 2020, there was 200,000 creators, and these were full-time creators. And you go all the way through just up to last year, and that's now 1.5 million creators.
Yeah.
And that's pretty wild.
It's a busy market to compete in, right?
It is. Yeah. So how does that change things for business that, we go on LinkedIn, you're looking on YouTube now. I mean, YouTube's taken over the Oscars. Lots of change.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot more noise out there, but you're able to, with technology today, whether it's whatever your platform is, Facebook, Amazon, all these platforms have ways to dial in on who you're trying to get your message to. So, gone are the days of, let's just put it on YouTube or Facebook and hit promote and everybody gets my message, right? You caught everybody because there was only a couple 100,000.
Yeah, just need to do the evolution.
Yeah. But now there's a lot more potential noise. And sure, if you're doing a blanket approach across the whole country or the globe for ages 18 to 65 for anybody who breathes, you might have a hard time. But all those platforms have a way to narrow down who you're trying to get your message to. And if you can actually create a message that resonates with your core market, then you can actually still get them. And, the cost to do what we're doing right now is so inexpensive compared to what it was even 5 years ago, right? I never had rented a facility before. I never booked a studio. Right. I had tried to find, a restaurant that I could use. Towson University is not too far from here, and they had some co-working space that you could rent, right?
Sure, right.
Actually for free. They have a thing called a startup.
Okay.
And but you're always like, where am I going to do this, right? And so to get back to the original question before the old-fashioned of why, I never had a place to actually create the content that I wanted to create. It was always getting a bunch of containers of equipment out of a closet or whatever and into a truck, arrive at some site that I got lucky to get, spend 2 hours setting up all the equipment, and then film for a very short period compared to the amount of time it took to figure out the logistics.
Right.
And then pack it all back up again. So at the core, that's where the studio idea came from. It was really a matter of sanity.
Sure.
It was a little bit crazy, and it reduces the cost because now I've got one spot, and it should increase the quality of the content and the quantity of the content. I mean, we were here doing some work for your company last week.
Absolutely.
And we were just knocking it out. And at the end, you said, well, I need to help you clean up now. And I was like, no, we just need to turn the lights off. And it's beautiful.
Love that.
Again, the cost is lower. Your company's ability to target an audience is better than ever. It's more cost effective. The price per person has gone down. I mean, there's really, how would you not do something like this? Now, I'll still go out and shoot on site, right? On location. Because if you have a really nice store or a warehouse or a manufacturing facility, you don't want to talk about it in here.
No.
You want to talk about it there. So that's fine. I'll pack up some stuff and go do it. But this just allows for more opportunity.
Sure. Well, I think another differentiation is you're doing this all the time, where companies, and I deal with a lot of different companies, that it's almost assigned as one-offs. So they'll say, okay, you've been doing you're a marketing department. I know we haven't done any type of video content before. We haven't done any of this before. Just go ahead and figure it out. And how does that work? It's just kind of throwing it up in the air and hoping that it flies.
Well, if you haven't been doing anything and somebody with authority above you, the C-suite, whatever it is, says, go give it a shot, you should. Because that might just be the first step in getting it done, right? Sure. You finally somehow got the buy-in, right? However, you have to continue to roll with it. You have to have momentum. You have to get the momentum going and keep it going. And just about every industry, if there can be a spokesperson, right, you will connect with the audience. When people, let's say for one of the companies that you're involved with, when they see you come to a meeting, they're going to know who you are before you even walk through the door, right? You have instant credibility from that presence that you've had in your marketplace. Sure.
Well, you're building trust. You're breaking barriers. And that's the purpose. The purpose is so that you've earned the right to be able to have the conversation. You can't earn the right without being able to break those barriers down first. Yeah. So what's the approach to get to that point? Back in the day, people would go canvassing in a business park and reach out and talk to people, throughout the business community, or they might go to a local business networking association or, some type of network group. But nowadays it's a little bit different because you still might go to that. There's still networking associations. There's still plenty of trade associations.
I went to one a week and a half ago. I mean, it's just, there's nothing beats in person.
Absolutely. I completely.
But you can't be everywhere.
No, you can't. Right? You can't. So you have to be able to, how do you optimize yourself? How do you optimize your business?
It's definitely a force multiplier, video is. There's no doubt about it. There's the power of editing. So if we go back to the person who said, finally, I get to make my first video, my first message. Sure. There's that fear of being in front of the camera.
Right.
But let me tell you, you're a CapCut user, right? CapCut is basically free unless you're using the higher end capabilities. Apple has free software. There's a ton of stuff out there.
Different options.
And what do they all bring? The power to edit. So you can cut out all the bad parts, make yourself look good, and present yourself professionally or fun or whatever it is for the market that you're in.
Right.
And you don't have to be scared of being in front of the camera.
I agree with that. I would also have to say that I appreciate the realness when people are just authentic and getting rid of all the BS, because people are going to make mistakes, but you have to be yourself. And when I see some people that are uber polished and it just doesn't come across for me.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're, they have a natural gift. You have a natural gift more than most people. So anybody that's watching Steve's videos, he actually is that polished.
I don't know. I think let's go back to this great old fashioned. It's great.
The more I have, the better.
It's working, my friends. So last week, and I really appreciate being able to have the time and space with you, because having you help me with my vision was really important, because, my company, Workforce G, and the focus of how the future workforce has changed already. And leadership must change with it. That's my tagline. The workforce has changed. Leadership must change with it. It's been such a dynamic because so many companies are being pushed to do more with less. And now with the introduction of AI's flipped the script, because most of companies, 99% of the companies, are adopting AI in some way, fashion, and what have you. But there's no clarity behind it. There's no clarity behind the strategy. And, I think about this with how marketing gets pulled together. you think about, agentic AI and how marketing is being pulled because you've got all these custom videos that are just a push of a button.
Yeah, you create your avatar.
And you're creating your avatar. Yeah. You're pulling all that together. How does that affect? What are you seeing that in terms of the cause and effect with companies?
Well, depending on which of my friends you talk to, half of them think I'm insane doing this because AI can just do it, right? The other half maybe just don't know exactly what to say. But I have a theory, and that is that authenticity will prevail. Now, if I just need a quick blurb with a unknown face on the camera for 30 seconds to say something, sure. Have I made AI-based videos? Sure.
You can have Michael Caine speak for you now.
Oh, great. There might be some sort of copyright trademark infringement there, but
sure.
Yeah. But, think about green screens. How long, and for anybody out there that doesn't know, that this is not a green screen.
No.
This is actually real. But for how long? Well, it's almost real. Okay. All right. It's as real as that is.
Yes.
So if you get back to a green screen, that should have eliminated studios, right? Like, why couldn't I just make my own video? Or at least it should have eliminated going on location, right? But it didn't. Now, if I'm making a Hollywood blockbuster movie and I'm at a probably at this point, $1 billion soundstage that's 40 feet high, and that's a whole different world, right? But today, if you and I want to make a video, okay, with the quality of cameras that we have, with the software that we have at our disposal,
right?
You can tell if it's a green screen or not, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So nothing beats in person. Are we going to film green screen stuff here? I'm sure we will to some degree. There's one setup over here that you can't see on camera, but some things need some technology behind it. But so AI is the new green screen, if you ask me. And some things are appropriate for it, and some things aren't. Do I use AI every day, all day long? Every program that I use to edit and to refine things, to work on scripts and to summarize scripts, right? I just need some bullet points for something, for a blog post or something like that. AI is 100% part of it, but it's also a force multiplier.
Yes.
I can be way more productive with my videos than I was, right? Again, we filmed last week an entire day with you, and we are knocking these things out, not because we're super great editors. We have AI helping us. Mm-hmm. So, sure, if you were in a symphony, right, do you want to play one instrument, or do you want to have all the instruments at your disposal? And that's what AI, I think, enables for the marketing world.
Yeah, the other point, and I appreciate you kind of sharing that narrative, because this is kind of holding the test of time versus the volume play. The volume play is, I'm just going to push out as much as humanly possible.
Some people play that.
And I'm going to just try to overwhelm everyone, and just try to overwhelm the algorithm, so to speak. But I think the other way around is authenticity, and building authenticity behind that, because people can see that, and they respect that, and it resonates. It still resonates today.
Yeah. So my dad owns a liquor store, right? My brother owns a liquor store. If I made a fake Steve Golueke or a fake Ben Golueke, and gave a script to an avatar, and made all these little videos about their liquor stores, right? And then John Smith comes in the liquor store and says, "Where's that guy Steve that I've been seeing on?"
Sure.
It just doesn't play well, right?
It does not.
So anywhere where you're gonna encounter your customer like that, it's got to be you.
It does. People buy from people, and you think about small business, retail markets, and
anything involving sales. I mean, salespeople are still out there in person.
They are. Yeah. So all of that is sticky. That's creating stickiness as well. So you've got to look at authenticity. You got to think about your message. How's the message coming across? Let's talk about your space. I mean, we got to walk around here. so that people could really appreciate what you have. Because this is a labyrinth. There's so many different rooms here. You could definitely have a good party in here.
I think we might have a launch party coming up. So yeah, we'll check it out.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you coming by. Why don't we take our drinks on the road and
let's do it.
Go give you a little tour behind the scenes.
Let's do it.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, Steve.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Well, I guess first we're in Studio One, right? Like the main primary video studio. But we'll go out to the front here and check out where all the ideas come together first.